Right, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. So it's just a quick one here. I just wanted to update you on the
Thompson
contempt of court case that was heard at the Old Bailey today. The BBC have reported on it a few moments ago, and that he's due to be sentenced next week. Let's check out the report from the BBC quickly.
You're watching BBC News. It's 12 minutes past 5. Let's talk more about one of the stories that has emerged in the last hour or so. Tommy Robinson, whose real name is Stephen Yaxley Lennon, faces prison tonight after being found guilty of contempt of court at the High Court. The former leader of the English Defence League had filmed defendants during a trial and had shown that footage on social media. Let's go straight to our Home Affairs correspondent Dominic Casciani, who has been following this at the Old Bailey. Explain more, Dominic.
Well, it's been an absolute saga, to be honest. It's not just been a court case. This has been going on since May of last year, May 2018, when Stephen Yaxley Lennon, who effectively goes by the name Tommy Robinson in the public. It's effectively like his alter ego. And if I just step out of shot, you might see him at the moment on the back of this double-decker bus and stage. We can't quite see him at the moment because of his own camera crews around him, so I'll perhaps pop back into shot for a second here. Cut a long story short, what Stephen Yaxley Lennon did was he turned up at a trial of men accused of running a sexual grooming gang, and that was at Leeds Crown Court last May. And he said he was there to report a case that the mainstream media were refusing to report. In actual fact, the mainstream media weren't there because there was a reporting restriction covering that case and a series of other linked cases to ensure that a jury wouldn't be prejudiced. But Stephen Yaxley Lennon, Tommy Robinson, turned up and began to do a Facebook Live, a big live stream to his many, many followers. He had up to 1 million followers on Facebook at the time. 10,000 were watching at the time that he was broadcasting. And he confronted aggressively the defendants as they went in. He basically made a series of comments about Muslim men who, in his view, were linked to sexual grooming of women in a series of scandals across the country. And as the video wore on, more and more concern was raised at the court about what he was doing, and he was eventually arrested at the scene and jailed the same afternoon. Now, the Court of Appeal initially overturned that jailing, saying it had all been terribly rushed, leading to a rehearing of the entire case over 2 days this week. And just about an hour ago, Dame Victoria Sharp, who's one of the most senior judges in the country, ruled that Mr. Yaxley Lennon was indeed in contempt of court, a serious interference with the administration of justice, she said. I'm just going to step out of shot actually, because I think he might be talking again in a second. No, we can't quite see him at the moment. It's just one of his supporters again. So the judge, Dame Victoria, said that he committed contempt of court in 3 ways. Firstly, he'd broken reporting restrictions by reporting this case when nobody else was doing so, observing a standard procedure in some court reporting. That his live stream outside of Leeds Crown Court was such that the content gave rise to a serious risk of impediment to justice because it was harassing the defendants. Now, he said that he has been convicted for what he is rather than what he has done. But Dame Victoria will sentence him next week, and it's very possible that he will go to prison.
Dominic, thank you. Dominic Casciani there at the Old Bailey.
So you hear there he's been convicted of contempt of court for reporting on a case involving these sick groups. Now what amazes me is not once does the BBC correctly state that this was an all-British Pakistani gang that believes a certain faith the media refuses to report on because political correctness means more than honest reporting, I guess. The imbecile reporter they have reporting outside the Old Bailey calls
Thompson
an alter ego, which is nonsense. It's the same person with the same views. He originally used the pseudonym to protect his private life and his family. It's the media that released his real name. This shitweasel knows that. I love how he says he turned up at a court where men had been accused of being involved in these gangs, when he knows for a fact the man was convicted for the crimes that
Thompson
was reporting on. This tit they've got on here is doing his best to avoid admitting that these men he was reporting on was Muslim. What a complete fuckpig. Do your job and just report the facts. The men have been convicted, there's no need to hide it now. You hear the BBC reporter say there is a good chance he will go to prison. So why didn't the Sun newspaper or Daily Mail go to prison in 2011 when they was convicted for contempt of court? Why did they just get a fine? Why is it different now? I mean, the Attorney General said the case was brought because it was in the public favour. I don't see that. I'm no great fan of Tommy myself, but having him arrested and tried in the Old Bailey is not in the public interest in any way. It's a complete waste of taxpayers' money. All of this because he tried to report on something that was in the public's interest, arguably. Especially the local people around there, they would surely want to know this information. It definitely should have been reported. The thing that pisses me off is that the BBC's omission of the facts around the gang who Tommy reported on, and the fact that they still call them the accused when they were convicted 9 months ago for their heinous crimes. What is the BBC on about? Now I'm going to end the videos there, guys. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share the video as it helps the channel a lot.